I'm looking at Jamkin as well. He will have to be able to draw out some of this util for Fnatic. Honestly, on both sides of the map, even if RRQ, if they want to push up for info on that defense side, they've got to be careful. They're going to probably have to use that Taeho util pretty liberally. Stealth drones into mid.
Smoke being into position. Actually, Alfia doesn't look like he's going to use that wall for the post plant at all.
Oh, he's going up into the window as the exec comes through. Kayak already dropped, and here's Alfia's opportunity. He's being spotted, still manages to find one. He's pulling them back into this. Opening pick for RRQ, but an immediate response from Fnatic puts them into a 4v2 post plant.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to break back in. That double entry's huge, but Alfia is still on the wall, has been caught out. Chronicle in a fairly open position, but will just opt to fall back. Utility not really available for that attack, but a singular paranoia for Munye.
Could get them back through. Chronicle's just got his flashback online. There's the shot from Jemkin though. Crashies, who is desperately low, is down. And it's the two players in Boathouse who have to pull this off. Chronicle with a pistol in hand. It might not be the classic, his signature weapon. He will find the...
They now have the weaponry to play with. Chronicle, even after a pretty stellar early start to this game, he's going to be left down to just a stinger. And Jemkin, well, he's going to be able to escape and have his teammate double up onto Alfia. A great start for this round.
Yeah, not bad at all. Exactly what we needed to see. Fnatic being put in their place early on with that advantage that RRQ are bringing to bear. And as you said, with the defensive side expectations we had. Rifles are left though. 3 of them with an upgrade that can be brought through. Make it from a corpse. I'll move towards this A side, but plenty of numbers here for RRQ. Full utility online towards this side, and 40 seconds on the clock. It's time to make a decision, and it looks like they might be making the right read.
The thing is, that was their own thorns. It felt like Crashies wanted to push forward.
30 seconds left.
But his own team's thorns have blocked him out from doing so. Fnatic like to run the clock low, but I wonder if this is just turning into a save. 20 seconds left on the clock, the spike pushing forward, but everybody else still with so much space to take. Boaster down.
15.
And yeah, this has to be a save now, but it still seemed like, at least up until Boaster went down, they were still challenging for this round. RRQ with a chance to keep this one nice and clean, and the only thing is, because it's their first round victory, I don't expect them to hunt too much for these remaining guns.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worthwhile just hanging on to what they've got. Even that one Guardian they've now got left with the upgrade for Crazy Guy. The salvo coming in from Crazy Guy still has one left to play with. Reveal comes in, the spams can now fire right back through. Very oppressive in terms of the util, the positions that RRQ are playing in as well. It's making it a bit of a headache for Fnatic. And with that extra time bought, rotation through from Jemkin, mid fully secured, and Fnatic are going to go for this late control. Alfia wants to push deep into the spawn. He's got a guy on the rotate, trying to cut it off, and he'll grab one. That's the res online, but Crashy's double, and Boaster clearing out the rest of the site. What was a very labored round in terms of the time being bled out of Fnatic's clock has ended up being a huge success for them. If Jemkin steps back out, if Cushy tries to cross the market, they could be caught off here.
Now has the idea that there's a player in position.
Here.
Jemkin Crash is about to run out, but just at the last second he's able to catch that kill. Boaster not being able to spot the player further, but that will be an immediate retrieval. Wonderful usage of the salvos though. That would be the pickoff of Kayak for the second time this round. His KD taking a beating. And so are Fnatic in the early stages. They need a response, and well, Jemkin's operator has just been a game changer.
Spike down.
From an almost clean round for Fnatic, it's looking like we might get one in response.
Yeah, I love this from RRQ. The salvos there onto the res, just perfect, and again, highlighting the benefit of having this Taeho in. It's a difficult agent to use right now, but we've started to see some teams making that adaptation. And we saw it in the previous round in terms of slowing down the push. Ultimately, when the push came in, they lost all of their fights, but the stoppage ability is huge.
Seem to be improving day by day, game by game. Showed massive resilience in their victory to get into that top 2. And well, those first few rounds definitely haven't phased them.
Grab flash. Nicely done. Jemkin not able to hit the shot on the jumping Kayak. And it will be a 5 versus 4 with the big player of the previous round, the big weapon of the operator down. They try to delay with the salvos, but Kayak's already through. Crashed through the gates on the B site. And he's claimed it for Fnatic. A plant now secured. A 5 versus 3. RRQ, well, you talked about the slow rounds. This was a bit more direct, but we might still get that late round save.
Well, I also think it was Boaster's paranoia that must have just been perfectly placed, because I think that was just an immediate gate crash into the site for Kayak, and it looks almost silly that he's able to get that kill for free. Breaking back into this, though, it was mentioned, it's not going to be easy. You're facing off against that Vice in tandem with Sage, and well, that's before you even talk about some of the individual brilliance currently in the server. This has been a very peculiar game. Both sides winning a lot of their rounds incredibly cleanly. And this time that pace change from Fnatic, and more importantly, catching out of GEMKIM, has turned this completely in the other direction. At least, though, Crazy Guy's going to make it a little bit more costly, but let's be real, it's not going to do too much in terms of the economy. Clearly expecting that aggression to come in. Early TP just to try and clear out Switch, the run in. Kayak's already gone down. Smoke going to be thrown back out to try and delay them that little bit further, but it feels like now Fnatic are a little bit more committed. Boaster has made that move eventually, but is the only one out. They're still just trying to get through this choke point. Stuck by Munya Smoke. Well, getting out of here is going to be difficult. Alfia's got a long wait before that heal is going to be available. In fact, we'll be down to the last 15 seconds of the round if that happens. And obviously for Chronicle with the operator, all he can really hope to do is hold the cross.
There could even be a world here where they're going to group up, swap that op into Alfia's hands. It's, yeah, there we go. It's the right play. Give him at least a chance to trade bullet for bullet. And they have got the B site wide open. RRQ, they've shown us a lot of patience on the defensive side. This time, it may be their downfall is that they will give the plant away. 12 seconds.
With Dimensional Drift online, though, I'm not worried. Like, you could just throw that in just to confirm this round. I think clearing out all of the risky angles will just make this so much easier. And playing this as a 4 versus 2 retake, I think the gamble would be is if you left it down to a 1v1 on the site. They're not going to allow that to happen. Chronicle, though, this is what I'm talking about. He's going to try and get aggressive, try and be surprising. They already know where he is. That surprise factor is gone.
Alpha, though, still manages to land a shot. They know where Chronicle is. That was the problem. It's down to the low HP player. He's healed himself slightly. He'll survive a shot, but not to the head. Cushy puts him in the ground, and RRQ convert 3.
And the couple of TPs not working out made it incredibly difficult to get out of that choke point. Even still, 4-3 up on the attack side of this map. Already said defense normally better. And what a Hunter's Fury pop. Chronicle's dead to rights. Nice start, in fact. Another tag to be had as well. Not as impactful when they have a Sage, though. But he was a little bit deeper. They are wary of those salvos. That's what it is. They're using the res here. They're just expecting the salvos to just remove anybody else who's left. Shock dart over the top. Same wall. Getting ready to go. But they should be aware of this. GEMKIM also holding the line into middle. Fnatic starting to fall flat once again. It's only really Alfia who's done anything. And well, Kayak now with 14 seconds, 4 players to find. And guess what? RRQ are not going to be peeking. That will be the scoreline equalized for the Pacific number 2. And well, for Fnatic, it feels like feast or famine.
But leaning towards the B site, which is much more open.
I wonder if this is down to the Steel Garden. One way to level the playing field would be to use that ultimate, remove the weaponry. So if you sit out of the site, fairly easy to step back. It's a slow ult to activate. And then you don't lose any of your weaponry, you can run back in on the retake. And you can see all of this utility being expended, set up to try and make things that little bit more awkward. Well, there's absolutely nobody here.
Yeah, there won't be the Steel Garden used, but instead the gate crash alongside the paranoia to clear that backside B. We've already seen the impact from Kayak, but so passive are RRQ. They tried to disrupt the plant, they won't find it. Chronicle lands a double poster on the frenzy, hold on! This is looking very winnable for Fnatic all of a sudden. And Xvero falls quickly. Crashy's getting revenge, catches him looking the other way from the stairs for the MasterCard Thrifty. The hope is from RRQ, even if that ult is used. Actually, you probably want the ult to be used. Now it's online for this round.
Yep.
Rez is there. Hunter's Fury. Fnatic have so much to work with. For RRQ.
Oh, here it is.
One round down, they're on the B site this time, completely trapped in. This is a problem. Cushy, he's gonna have a swarm of locusts descending upon him, but his weapon is back up. The flash catches, but Cushy, good for one, good for two! Against all odds on the back site. He was caught by the steel garden. But he's the one drawing blood till Chronicle again delivers a double.
Chronicle has been impressive. Gemkin rifle retrieved. Crashies has that Hunter's Fury, but using it might be difficult. Nice shock dart, but even still a couple. Looked like they could have gone the other way, but Chronicle still stands tall. Relatively low, but this is starting to look very rough indeed.
Oh, Gemkin, there we go. The return of the op, and of course it's Chronicle that he finds a massive scalp to take early on. Player who has bailed Fnatic out of a lot of bad situations. The 7-5 half up for grabs. Up against the team that sent RRQ out of Toronto, the grudge match. Gemkin's going back out for more, same spot as before. Of course, he's got teammates covering deep into mid, so he doesn't have to worry about his left side. He's covering this cross, and eventually that fight is going to be forced out. Crashies, but it's more importantly Alfier with the spike. He's got two! Alpha walls up, pops the res, uses it as a bait for another, but Xpharaoh delivers. And a 2 versus 2 spawns from this. With the ult from Boaster, the spike will be reclaimed, but look at Munyet.
Giving his position away. Clearly aware of the potential paranoia to re-swing, but he's not won the fight. And now Xpharaoh left on just 20 HP. This will be a tough one to win, but it will come down to the timing. If he can find a gap, find some space, maybe there's an opportunity down to just 10. Facing off, and he has managed it with barely any HP left. That is absurd. Be as good on the entry as he was on the defense, because it is much, much harder.
Oh, Fnatic! They're giving them a taste of their own medicine! It's the stack up on mid, 3 instead of RRQ's 4. But they have found 2 picks and left Xpharaoh down to 5, a much more successful start. And one of the things I wanted to highlight, Tom, is the man we're on board with right now, Munyet. He has had a tough first half, and a man we have high expectations for. I don't think Fnatic will get to see this side of Munyet for much longer, but for now, certainly a lot more to be desired. And with this pistol, if Fnatic win this, that's both pistols under their belt, which ultimately, in a 7-5 half, the pistol was what made the difference.
Yeah. I think it'd be a bit more damning. What?
All right.
Okay, that's going to help them out a little bit. A full blind shot for one of their players. Munyet's found another. You mentioned him, and he's come alive. And it's starting to get a little bit dangerous. A fight that could change it, but it's the jumping. He's known for his dancing, but he'll stand up as well. A little bit of a ruse sold on the other side with the salvos. Of course, you can see the direction that they fly from, so doing it from the right side of the map is important. Already being tripped, and that's going to buy that additional little bit of extra time, but they are swarming in. A lot of pressure put onto Chronicle! Was that a triple wallbang? Did he just collapse 2 of them with 1, or was that the second shot? Because it looked like it could have been all of them.
It looked like it was 1 bullet, 3 kills. Maybe we'll get a slow-mo.
Yeah, I'm going to need that slowed as much as humanly possible, but that does mean there's an opportunity for the ace, and Crazy Guy does not want to give it to him. This man was confident enough as it is. His 17th kill already. Oh, Crazy Guy. He's trying to go around the world. It seems like Kayak, he is baiting. What a wonderful teammate that this guy is. In fact, they're all trying to give the opportunity for this man to get the ace, and he will get it. Chronicle. The first ace for Fnatic in the tournament. And one that, yeah, I'm going to need it slow. I still don't know.
Hold on. Here we go. That was one shot. One shot, 3 kills. That's unbelievable from Chronicle. And that's what you like to see from a team. Patatek should take some notes.
I do feel just jiggling.
He's going to go out. The gate crash is going to be used. Surely it's running out of time. There we go. He's back out, but Crashy's out of the round. He's taken down in market, and RRQ used that knowing that rotations will come through. Now they look to pressure towards mid. This is the right read. Fnatic are offering up a fight, and if the numbers from the attack go that way, they could have had a duel. Very heavily favored to themselves. In fact, they still might. Boaster's going to be walled up here. It's an audacious play, but he goes jumping on top of the box. And xFaroe in with the early punish. A 3 versus 5 now.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea, but the additional jump made it difficult. Chronicle on the other side, they're going to have at least a little bit of worries about that Guardian after the last round. Alpha yet, he's being watched. Well played by Munya, making sure that lurk can't come in from behind. Well, it needs to be a 1v5, but it's not going to happen. A solid round from the side of RRQ, patient in their attack. But now with 40 seconds left on the clock, bear in mind that the Vice Wall has also been moved into middle, so they have a lot of information on that part of the map. The push, though, not going that way.
The drone already put through on A, alarm bells ringing. Fnatic know the hits coming in with that paranoia having landed. Kayak doesn't find much. A quieter performance continues. We look for another hero on this site. Alfier grabs some info but swings into heavy traffic. Boaster isolated. They'll be taken down after one. Chronicle and Crashies. Okay, that shock dart makes it doable. I was already thinking perhaps the save call. But now they can go for this. And with Crazy Guy taking a fight alone, he's giving them a real chance. xFaroe so desperately low. They'll play this together with a flash still in play for Chronicle. That's a good way to burst them out into this site. If xFaroe doesn't break this one yet, be blinded up. It's going down below. Oh, it's going up top. Okay, they're clearing it. Now looking to fight together with the reveal. They've seen one, they've seen the other, but xFaroe lands the shot. And it's all onto Crashies. The drop down should be deadly. A double swing, but xFaroe gets ahead of the play. Crashies running out of time, but he'll catch Munya as the spike ticks away. Fnatic, it's close, but I think they've got it. Double digits on the board, and you have to look at RRQ there. xFaroe, that was a mistake.
But this is what I've enjoyed from RRQ. They've been methodical at slowly breaking their way through this utility. Information will be had that there's 2 players around this position. Steel Garden thrown in to try and remove that weaponry, but Jemkin may be already doing enough. 30 seconds left on the clock, and
30 seconds.
Oh, there's nobody here anymore, at least with the weaponry. And this hold into mid, it could be a problem. That's a spike down.
Mid.
They need to run back into the hands of Chronicle. He's waiting, but he can't quite win the fight. Jemkin once again with another massive round individually. Oh, I think they've genuinely been fantastic. Not overdoing it. Not taking too many risks. They're now going to go back to the exact position that they sort of baited out before, the slows. Will delay them at least a little bit. And there are quite a few players here for Fnatic. Weaponry, at least on Boaster, definitely not ideal. But again, this is just posturing. They now head back towards Kayak. Now, he's been having a rough game. They could definitely use him helping them out. And with the Hunter's Fury in combination, that creates a distraction. That's the spike on the deck. 15 seconds left. This one's looking a little bit more rushed. They need to get a move on. And Alpha and Chronicle at the back of this site. All they need to do is hold the line at least a few seconds. And in fact, they've already got the Thorns to do that job for them. Fnatic find their form. And of course, once more, into the hands of Chronicle.
Yeah, I like the start of the round from RRQ, getting towards short, baiting all of that, but the problem is when they rotate back, having drained the utility belts of their opponents, Fnatic have 3 players close by who immediately hear that. The rotates are instant, they get towards that site, and then you're playing a slow, first of all, 2 points. First of all, you're playing a slow round against Fnatic. They know how to play against slow rounds. They play a lot of them. But secondly, you're running with 15 seconds left into a Vice setup.
But this is both teams with their economy on the brink. This could be a chance for RRQ to equalize, or it could be the end of the map. Kayak again, not quite connecting, got to go forward. Position being created, awkward. And the openers for RRQ are fantastic. Nobody really here to try and deny them anymore. The spams from Crashies are hopeful at best, especially with them knowing his exact position. And it now comes down to the same decision for Fnatic. Do you risk this?
Love this from Jemkin, 10 HP in a heads-up duel. He's not going to do very well, so he decides to play that very late wraparound. That should seal the deal. And even if Fnatic decide to go back and save these weapons, he will be waiting.
One enemy
Alpha
remaining.
down, Boaster follows and crashes inside the smoke. It's soon to fade. I don't think he's got a great chance of holding on to this weapon.
Flawless.
And he won't do any damage. It's a flawless round for RRQ. The climb back.
From Kayak, and I'll be honest, in terms of what we've seen in EMEA, this isn't comparable. Like, he is having a really rough time on the stage at the moment. He's been caught up by Monyet, but this is a player we expect to have large amounts of impact. Speaking of another, though, that's a nice shot from Alpha. It removes that lurking player of Xfero. Maybe gives them a little bit of extra space. The problem, though, is Crashies has already gone down in response, and the salvo will deny any aggression.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about pistols for most players. Kayak's in a good spot. Monyet crosses over, but he's now seeing Chronicle, and Kayak lands the headshot. An outlaw and a rifle picked up an advantage in manpower. A res online for Alpha. An ult for info if Boaster wants to use it.
Here.
But Kayak's already got plenty to work with.
I'm back.
This is now winnable for the defensive side, and RRQ need to tighten up the ship. They also need a pick, and that's what Jemkin gives them. Cushy following up as well. Now a 2v2, but the res will be used. Fnatic not looking to let this round slip just yet. The flash pops, and I love the thorns to the back, but they don't get activated, and Cushy continues to deliver on the backside. Boaster landing one, leaves Cushy alone, but it's a 1v1, and with Boaster so desperately low, and the clock draining, it's Cushy to find all five. RRQ just one behind.
He has been so impressive throughout this map so far. There's been rounds that have gone late where you see him run in and get a double, but this was all him. A lot of missing pieces, but a big opportunity.
Who's next?
Now is where they need to recover because RRQ have been building into this attack side.
Oh, here we go. Jemkin finding the info, Cushy
So much damage.
finding the tags and finding the IGL of Fnatic. He will lead from the death screen, but Chronicle able to trade things back, removing this extra smokes in the late round. That's going to be quite the blow. It looks like Fnatic want to get ahead of this. They've got 3 players in heaven, but a flash primed and ready. They're thinking about getting aggressive as the Rose Garden goes through. In comes Kayak, he's found one! A wall bang onto Crazy Guy, but Jemkin, he's keeping this, well, at least under control for a moment, even with the pistol in play. Late round for Xfero's going to be all that it comes down to, but he's got to swing into a plant position that he just cannot deny the defuse from. 12 to 10, Fnatic, they edge out this round, and they've got 2 chances to take the map.
Kayak is going to get himself into the corner.
Okay,
Is this something that's checked? It is, and what Jemkin has been winning that fight time and time again. His sight hold, though, has been devastating. They're walking into Chronicle's domain, and thus far this game he's been dominant.
Yeah, Chronicle has been the difference maker. Crashies has been pretty reliable. The utilities keeping them out of Boathouse for now.
On B.
But the push comes to a slow for RRQ. The spike retrieved. They haven't set their sights on it just yet. The run through the smoke successful for Xfero. With Chronicle already gone, Boaster and Alpha have a difficult decision. Going for this. And, oh, well, it's no longer a decision. No debate. Jemkin's down, and it's Xfero and Monyet against Boaster and Alpha.
They've got a real opportunity. Back into the 2 versus 2. Maybe expectations that there'll be somebody within this smoke already. Alfia not really willing to risk it, but eventually jumps through, but doesn't realize maybe there's somebody on the other side. They will now, and even going to trade it out. The TP used as bait. Monyet to try and keep them in the map, and he cannot do it. Alfia standing once again. A 3rd kill in the round, and well,
he is going to be critical in turning his game around for Fnatic to win on a map where historically they don't win very often.
Almost never.
Yeah.
I am surprised that Alpha doesn't get to play that Jet. You would think with the form that he's on and how well he's been fragging out, that's a...
I don't know. I kind of wanted to see the double duelist flare come out of Fnatic with that waylay in play. We'll see what ideas they have, at least for now. Kayak going walkabouts.
That's exactly it. Straight down through mid. Fnatic starting out confidently. They're going to be greeted by Xfero, who's been there to punish them a couple of times on the previous map. That stun doesn't actually catch him. Jemkin to find a pick,
That one
but it's
does.
traded back by 2 and slowed down in the re-aggression through mid. RRQ, by the time they get through that choke, get up.
Oh, the timing.
Onto the stairs. I thought Fnatic would be safely out of there, but yeah, Kayak has been caught back to a 3v3.
Crashy's just holding the angle, but doesn't manage to land. Pistol definitely not done yet. Bear in mind, Fnatic have won both of them so far, and that was...
RRQ have also done a great job of keeping their utility here. Munyet not burning up a paranoia. Taking this as a contact play now gives them a lot more to work with when it comes to this post plan. I'm curious to see whether this was going to be used in an aggressive way with the position of Jemkin to try to paranoia him through when they hear these steps of the retake, but instead they're playing back on the side.
They got both of the shock darts and the recon as well, so there's a lot available for them.
There's paranoia line
to try and have their sweaty little lineups. There's a paranoia just to kind of keep Jemkin safe in the corner. It does mean they know he's there. Crashy's able to clear already. Potential, but it's just going to be the firefights for Crazy Guy, but it's worked out. One found already within the Smokers Chronicle. He's trying to continue from before, and immediately it's going to land himself another shot. It's whether or not he has enough time. He does not. It was incredibly close for another Chronicle miracle. Favored of the two thus far. We'll see if that continues throughout the map.
Stunned hell. There's no way Kayak's getting super aggressive here on the back of it. Now they will just sit and wait, but here comes a dive from Jemkin. Kayak with the immediate punish, he gets out. Has his refract to go back, but doubtful that's going to be used. They've made it now into a 5v4, denying the plant. Oh no, it's not. It's on the other side of the box, pardon me. Cushy's able to get the plant down nice and open.
Yeah, I guess they didn't expect just for him to plant almost in front of them. It's a bit of a gamble with this many players there, but it sets them up nicely into the post plant. All 5 players from Fnatic and still a decent amount of utility. Recon already being sent out to try and clear some of that backline, but in fact it's a much deeper post plant. The spams is the aim of the game. A 1-for-1 trade, but bear in mind what they lost it on last time. It was the time, it was the clock that went against Fnatic. Already you see the fragment into position. At times starting to tick down once again, and they're only just getting onto it. The shock dart is going to go through, but it's missed. I don't think it's quite as close this time around. They will be able to get it done. Fnatic have a round, but if that shot was a little deeper, they did not.
Just an inch to the right, and that's a completely different game. Yeah, that's unfortunate. The decision then, when you see this utility come through from Alpha here, do you stick around, do you look for the fight, or do you simply back off? And it looks like he's made the right call. And Crashies, he didn't think he needed a fallback. He should have been safe inside the smoke, but he has been taken down. RRQ, I mean, Fnatic tried to deny RRQ the opening pick, and they still get it. That's a crazy unlucky fight from Fnatic.
Look at Alpha as well. He's 1 HP. Like, the spams have done so much damage to the side of Fnatic. But getting back into this site is going to be a difficult one. They're still going for it. They're still trying to make that space. Kayak's actually won the opener. That's not a bad way to find themselves back into the round, but it's this late wraparound from Mumya that could cause them problems. The fight on the site actually going the way of Fnatic and an old school cam and the spike is going to be a nasty surprise. It means once again they haven't been able to get on it. Have they heard Munyet? No, they haven't. But he's going to be caught. A last second check from Chronicle gets the job done. It could have been a wonderful moment for Munyet, but instead he is caught. A retake after a retake after a retake, but RRQ, well, they probably feel like the B site after it being half a second and a slightly missed shock dart. Might be the better of the two for them. They're heading there early.
Knife is broken. Jemkin, though, already in, taking the space, but Kayak's there to punish. We've seen this before. He just gets out. Happy with his opening pick, with the advantage claim. The spike making it to backside. This is normally the aftershock goes down. This time they try to deny the close plant. The wraparound from Munyet catches them in that transition period, and it's a 4 versus 4. RRQ have a late flank coming in from Xfero as well, covering all their bases. There is still a trip covering it. These players on site could be under pressure. Kayak, that ult's not quite going to hit Munyet up in heaven. Xfero and Munyet both finding theirs. And then now that flank putting so much pressure on Fnatic need to be quick. They got to run forward. There's gaps in the play, and RRQ are exploiting them. 3-3 now, leveled. Already you can see they've spotted Boaster, and they know with the knife popping that no one is on the site. Very quick to take the space.
Well, there's the trip.
Jemkins landed himself up top, a different route than was planned for by that trap wire. Hunter's Fury active, but denied immediately. The ult from KO taking all the abilities, all the ulties away, and buying so much time. Fnatic will have to now wait. They've got so much util for the retake, but that clock is going to run low by the time they can use it.
Well, it has been running low every single time. Monya faking out the idea, and well, Cushy's just swung into them. He knew where they were. That's messy though. Both of them somehow managed to find 3. This round was looking done, but it's left all on to Monya. He's been revealed. They know where he is, but he wants to take that fight, and he will not win it. Alfia onto the defuse again, and this time plenty on the clock to be able to get it over and done with. But I'm just looking at Boaster. Whoa, what was the 3rd kill? Did that player get pinged and I didn't realize it? Because that looked so clean from him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's straight through the smoke. Even the second, he was lucky to survive. Dribble will catch it from his POV, but there were a lot of shots fired his way. It looked done. One through the smoke, another player whiffs, and then the reveal is there to take Cushy. Well, Alpha, he's clearly feeling confident down on that stage. Gonna have the Blade Storm activated for Jemkin. Deep play towards the A site for Fnatic. Early doors taking a lot of control. And RRQ hasten their pace as a response. Straight through mid. There's 2 players quite passive on this B site, ready for the fight. Crashies slowing down the players in mid, making a bit of an accordion effect. This is leaving more isolated battles. Alfia dies after just 1 though. With that utility down, the player covering the cross to site out of the round completely. They now have to focus in the late round and take a look at this play coming through. You've talked about the late round flanks. Well, Monya might have the best one yet.
He's low on HP, so he has to pick his moment. The rest of the team have been able to place themselves in the back of the site. Chronicle with a single kill might even be able to just Rolling Thunder them all off the map, but they are waiting. They don't want to overface, they don't want to get aggressive. They are giving the time for Monya to make potentially the play of the round. He's watching everybody. It's a little bit messy, but he'll still get the one. Not quite as much as he would have hoped for, but the rest of the players have still been just waiting patiently. Cushy again, swinging from the same angle. And this guy has been unstoppable from that spot. A 4th kill from him. And well, once again, we find ourselves level. It's been the story of the match.
It really has a perfect storm of parity here on the server. But Cushy,
this is spot.
Every time you see him there, it's going to be the exact same round minus the null command. They've lost 1 to Chronicle. That Rolling Thunder will be put through. It almost sent Monya off the map, and instead it sent him into the waiting arms of Chronicle, but a 3v3, and again this mid-play. Alpha got the better of Xfero last time, but this time it's revenge for RRQ's Cypher. The B site now open as we can see. Boaster getting his rifle out. It looked like a little late, but he'll end up equalizing things.
Okay, well throughout this, Chronicle didn't move. I can understand why. You've seen a kill on the other side of the map. You kind of had the expectation that they go the other way. He's now started to claim some control. Perfect positioning, but it's a little bit labored. It's given an opportunity. Crazy Guy's been able to get out of the grab well. Because of that, he gets that early fight. And Boaster's been wrapping around the backline, going all the way around the map to try and get in from behind. He does have the Cosmic Divide available, but placing it while in the open would be a massive risk. He's just trying to make his way into the site, and Crazy Guy, well, it's been too long. He started to realize that he has to be coming in from behind. The tap on the spike reveals his opponent's position. But the clock is in his favor. Boaster, though, will just about be able to take it. He's been good in these late round scenarios, and who would have guessed it? 5-5 and another retake of sorts.
Cage trigger.
They have done a great job so far on the attacking side of dealing with Alfia's utility. It doesn't feel like he's getting a lot off those traps, constantly being destroyed. Always caution on the push through. It will be the same again.
He's using this Fnatic to clear mid.
Fnatic group up here. 4 players moving into heaven, but RRQ want to take the fight to them. Boaster and Chronicle, though, good for the duel. In goes the Hunter's Fury. It's a narrow laneway. Doesn't land for more than the one, though. 4 versus 3. Oh, Monyet! He's just delivered a double. Managed to find them, fall back, and then the trap on the other side reveals one of the last players, Boaster, the one that was unknown. Alpha will be caught by Crazy Guy in the 1v1. Back and forth as it went. It's RRQ for 6.
Yeah, Monyet's having a game. Every single time it seems like when he's in the right place, he delivers. That will be the lead. Pick back up. We mentioned it, that it was a close first half in the last map, and the pistol was what made the difference. It seems like it might end up being the case again. Of course, RRQ were the ones to take it in this one. Come on, just look at what is on the board for Fnatic in this round. This series for Kayak has definitely been a nightmare one. We've yet to really see him deliver on either the Yoru or the Waylay. And what is a fast-paced take once again for RRQ.
Champion looking to harvest souls, caught by the stun, yet he still survives. Kushi again, but it's Boaster with a double, breathing life into Fnatic. But in a 2v3, still on the back foot.
He loves the cam on the spike.
And it got down just in time. That shock dart landed just a little bit too late. And Crashies will have no more chance to play with the bow. Last man standing, Alfier. He's got a classic now.
Stinger at range.
Well, better than the classic, perhaps. Well, maybe not, actually. It depends. Certainly ended up with a better rifle.
That is what RRQ have been so good at. They're not going to give him a single fight. Just jiggle peeking, baiting him into taking awkward positions. He doesn't have anything to play with. The time against him. And look, even at the end, the cam will be what decides the round. Just making sure that there is no fight to be had. The half will be won by RRQ. And well,
as we see a lot of this defensive side flock towards the B site, and it certainly seems like for the moment that's where Fnatic want to take it. But I am seeing Boaster clearing a lot of space on A.
Oh, it's almost an early pick. Kayak eventually will find one, but he's traded out by Kushi again. He seems to love this B site. But with space being held, this was something that the old Fnatic on this map loved to do. They just leave Boaster in the spawn. Crashies, though, has been caught, looking like maybe he wanted to try and get out of there. Instead, they're now walking into a site that I imagine they believe to be clear, but Xpero are definitely still waiting. And actually, he's in the perfect position. Now they try and split back through. They'll be able to deal with him, and in fact, Boaster's caught a couple. One of the remaining players incredibly low, but they need to get this plant in, and Boaster holding the line.
10 seconds left.
He's found himself 3 already, but he's the last healthy player. Alpha down to 25. That's Sheriff. A 6 chambered up against him, and it's Boaster to deliver his 4th of the round. A big play from the IGL. We just highlighted him, and for good reason.
Yeah, no, impressive stuff. And as said, like when you look back at their old composition where they had that double duelist, a lot of the time they would leave him behind as this hard lurk if he's setting up utility from afar and basically not allowing you to push across the map. This, though, was a different story. He completely took the A site on his own and then ended up clearing out the players as they went to rotate. Pistol rounds in the last map, they're even in this one.
Conversion here. Oh, Alpha under pressure. He has been taken down.
It's a lurk, though.
It's only classics from RRQ. But now they've managed to find themselves a Marshall. Alongside damage, that can be a very valuable weapon in a round like this. But they will be forced into the retake as the plant secured on this A site. And the question for Fnatic is, how do you want to play this? Especially with the range advantage going back towards mains. Not a bad idea, but conscious of Monyet being able to just smoke them off. They want to stay a little bit aggressive, keep some control.
Oh, nice
but the cam has spotted them. They know exactly where to fight. RRQ have all the info. They're putting the pieces together, and it's Fnatic coming crumbling down. That late cam from Xpero has given them a chance, but he can't convert. It's Boaster to save the round with the Red Bull clutch.
They might leave themselves in a bit of trouble next round.
We'll see how the economy's settled. As players start to fall.
Oh, hey!
He's got one up top. That's another rifle. This is a full body now! Kayak is double connected, and he's hungry for more. Blood in the water, and he's swimming straight towards xFaroe. Just about manages to survive that engagement. The Cypher healthy towards the spawn, but a 5 versus 3. That investment for Fnatic paying off.
But that was the man we wanted to see. He's been missing throughout the majority of this series. Cushy trying to take space back through. This is not going to be easy. Maybe it is. There's a gap. A spot for him to take a fight, but look how passive the remaining players are. Cushy's found another. Making this one interesting for sure. They've dodged themselves that knife, and now already that time being forced, and Boaster and Chronicle combined, holding the line.
Yeah, it's the still water that stagnates. It's time to switch it up. Fnatic straight to the B site. The op shot not landed, and quite a bit of damage done in return. xFaroe falls. Utility now. Those trap plays no longer there to work with, and Alpha gets the info on the back of it. Oh, Crazy Guy trying for the punish. He finds himself falling.
Here.
In a 5v3, that off needs to start delivering, but the opportunities are few and far between, with trades lightning fast for Fnatic. Double digits acquired, and they are on the path to success.
Fnatic, though, are taking mid control.
There.
There's been a challenge in the last couple, but the success hasn't been there. Cushy's been one of the few glimmers of hope in this map, and Boaster's just walking it down on his own.
Well, that is a deep play. The Rolling Thunder catching it for the mid-split. But xFaroe able to survive inside his cage, at least for now. Hunter's Fury not finding its mark. Pressure applied as Jenkins rotates, cut off. Boaster in there with a 3rd kill of the round. This guy's off to a flying start, and it looks like soon to be a finish. For the attacking side, a 4th denied, but Chronicle's there for the trade. 12-7. One more needed for Fnatic, and in the second half of Abyss, it has been anything but. They were 7-5 down, and now just 1 round away from victory. With 5 chances to do it. Kayak's deep dive. They see the cage. Oh, what a shot on it, Jemkin! The first of what could be many to fall. Ult clearing right, but xFaroe still alive, but now they know it. They know exactly where he is.
He's got both trips just blocking off this right-hand side. They're yet to be broken. They now will be, or at least the first one. If anybody's jumping across, Boaster could go flying off the map, but it may not even matter in the end. Only 2 standing. Make that just 1.
Spike planted.
Crazy Guy needs a crazy finish, and he will not live to tell the tale. Perfection for Fnatic on that attack side. Not a single round dropped. And well, for a map choice of RRQ, they're left with egg on their face.